Another edition of Experience Sessions right here on indigomusic.com. I'm Rohit, and joining me is another independent artist all the way from Kolkata. It's a very difficult name to pronounce. Let me tell you, it's Tathagata Bhowmik. Am I right?
Yeah, it is Tathagata Bhowmik. It is a difficult name to pronounce, but I guess that makes it more, people remember it more. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
difficult
a
name.
unique name. It's a unique name. Is there a meaning to that particular name, your first name?
Yeah, so it's basically Gautam Buddha's name after he achieved enlightenment. So before achieving enlightenment, he was called Siddhartha, and after achieving enlightenment, he was called Tathagata.
Right, fantastic. Now, first of all, welcome to indigomusic.com.
Thank you.
And your brand new track sounds absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about that, but before that, you have worked with different bands. You've been a band member in Kolkata, and then you went to Bombay, and then you went back to Kolkata, started a new band. How different is it for you, when it comes to playing with the band and being and going as a solo artist?
Right. I think the major difference while being playing in a band is largely that there are a lot of point of views regarding a particular song or a particular sections of songs that enriches the entire performance.
Right.
I mean, when I'm performing alone, there's only my point of view and only how I perceive that particular music or that particular lyric and how I want it to express. It in front of people. But as soon as I play with a band or I play as a duo or I play as a trio, there are multiple perspectives that have to be taken into account, which actually, it also causes a lot of commotion in what would be the ultimate, product that we have to put out in front of the audience. But also it enriches the process of making music and enriches the entire, the entire gig or the entire show that we are putting out, because it has years of experiences of 2 to 3 people, 4 people, and that always helps in putting out a great piece of work or a great piece of art in front of people.
Basically, yeah, it tells a lot about playing from in a band to being a solo artist. Now, when did you decide to go solo from your band?
So largely, in Calcutta from 2013 2016, I was a part of a duo called the Do's and Don'ts,
Right.
and we were sort of an indie folk duo. And the other guy who used to play with me, we were friends from school, so we kind of knew each other's music, knew each other's strengths, and we had a lot of fun playing together.
Right.
And then, of course, life happened and a lot of changes in life happened. He had some things to do. I had certain other things to do. So we kind of, called quits on the duo, and I moved to Bombay in 2016. There, for the first few months, I wasn't playing a lot of gigs because I was used to playing with Jeet. His name is Jeet Gupta, who was a part of the Do's and Don'ts. And I mean, I was used to playing with him, and we used to do a lot of harmonies together. We used to have a lot of fun together playing as a duo. So that kind of was a little weird for me to go up on stage as a solo artist, because I wasn't really sure what my strengths were as a solo artist. Because while we were playing together, he used to take the lead in play solos, play guitar solos in a few songs.
Right.
We used to play the harmonicas in different parts of the songs. We had like really intense harmonies, and we used to share the vocal duties of the band. So I was trying to figure out my space or how I would want people to perceive me as a solo artist. So I took a break from performing for a while. I was writing new music, testing out materials with friends, making them listen to music, trying to get them to add something to the tracks that I was writing.
Right.
So post that, I kind of realized that I need to get back on stage to actually understand how these tracks are coming along. Are people liking it or not? Is it something that is in tandem with what people would want to listen to, or is it actually striking a chord in people's hearts? Because that's the entire point of writing music, writing songs, so that you can say something that other people aren't being able to express. And so it makes them feel better, and it makes you feel better that you're the voice of a few, even if like 5 6 people in front of you.
Right.
So I kind of went up on stage. I played my guitar. I took the harmonica. I sort of tried to find my own space in performing solo. But then again, in Bombay also, I had a duo setup. I mean, I'm the most comfortable in a duo setup because Then a lot of duties get distributed, and you can add a lot of elements to the music. Basically, you can add another guitar which completes the soundscape. Probably you can add a cajon which gives it a rhythmic beat to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the most comfortable playing in duo setups, but performing solo, I mostly perform solos when I have to test my new materials. When I haven't arranged probably a new song in terms of the drums or the bass or the guitars, and it's just a scratch that I've written, and probably the lyrics is also getting edited day by day. So if a gig comes along, which is probably a very intimate gig, a house concert or a house gig or a
Yeah.
rooftop gig, so that is where I prefer to play solo, where I play my new songs, and which are completely fresh, completely raw, and try and figure out the response so that I can work on it later and come back with my friends who play with me, and make it into a complete song.
Right. Right. Now, what are some of the topics that you use when it comes to making your music?
So largely, I mean, there has been a lot of shift in the kind of music that I have been writing. So when I started out, I used to write about heartbreaks and love and emotions, and probably falling in love with a very pretty girl that I've seen at a party the last night, and
Yeah.
I'm probably dating someone and I'm writing some love songs for them. So it was more about exploring um, how how I am perceiving emotions or relationships, how I'm perceiving my relationship with other people who are in contact with me. But over the years, I've also started writing about songs that are very self-introspective, where I question my own ideals, my own values, who I am as a person. What have I done as a person? How have I helped people? How probably I try to understand society in general, or probably the different feelings that I have, which are very personal to me. It might be fear, it might be anxiety, it might be happiness, loneliness. So on a very it might sound a little self-centric, but then I would want to explore more about myself that might be more universal in terms of its connect with other people.
Right.
And and also I try and write about the things that I see around me. um, uh, uh, you know uh, the social inequality that is prevalent in the world, the exploitation that goes on around us, the
Yeah.
poverty,
Yeah.
the lack of economic measures that people in our country have to face,
Right.
and also people in the music industry, in the independent music industry, the kind of niche that they are targeting, and that they've not been a part of the mainstream yet. So that causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights amongst musicians. So I try and write about those things as well. But largely, I mean, I've moved from writing towards a very flimsy, lovey-dovey stuff to a little self-introspective, a little
A little more,
certain things
a
which,
little more serious when it comes
uh,
to the take of the topic, basically.
yeah, I wouldn't say serious. I mean, love is also a very serious
Yeah.
concept, but
Yeah.
a little more, it gives more perspective to the person who's listening to the music, and it helps them helps place themselves in the larger scheme of things that they are in.
Right. Right. Fantastic. Now, your brand new song, it's called "Song for the Dot," if I'm not wrong. It just sounds
Yeah. I
fantastic. First of all, let me tell you, we just heard it here in our studios. What is the song all about?
Right. So Song for Dot has a very interesting story. The song, when I wrote it in 2015,
Right.
when I had gone to this hill station called Darjeeling,
Right.
which is near
Yeah.
Calcutta.
They've been there.
And
Beautiful place.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a pine forest there. It's called Lamahata, which is a very secluded. It was an obscure place at that point of time, but now
Right.
it has become very touristy.
Yeah.
So if you walk, if you walk uphill in the pine forest for an hour, you would suddenly find a lake built in the forest, which was absolutely mesmerizing, and it was very surreal to me. After walking in the pine forest, you suddenly find a lake which is very calm and serene and quiet. So I went there with a friend of mine, and we were sitting there. We were listening to a lot of music. We were listening to Coldplay. We were listening to a lot of Pink Floyd, and it was extremely beautiful. I mean, we weren't talking. We were just listening to the sound of the forest, the sound of the lake, the sound of the wind, and of course the magnanimity of the mountains was always in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful day. So the song has references to a beautiful day many times. The song was called "Such a Beautiful Day" when I had written it. It was, an exclamation on finding such a beautiful serene lake in the middle of a pine forest. It's a song for celebration. It's a song for being together. It's a song about friendship. It's a song about taking time out to enjoy those little moments in life, in the even in the hustle bustle of the everyday chores that we have to be in.
Yeah.
And this is a song that I used to play as a part of the do's and don'ts with Jeet. But then we kind of co-composed this song together. And his nickname is Dot. So we
Okay.
used to call him Dot.
Right.
So
Right.
this is sort of like a recall to a tribute to Jeet,
Right.
who I used to make music with, and I spent the best years of my life making music with him. So since we made this song together, I call it Song for Dot.
Fantastic. Now we'll be playing that out right here on our radio station, which is indigomusic.com. And you know what? Once again, thank you so much for connecting with me, and all the best for your future endeavors and your future releases.
Thank you so much.